Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film a video about some things that are just been on my mind. This is not a rant. Yes, it is. But no, seriously, I just wanted to film. It's just like when I'm scrolling the interwebs and I'm on YouTube and I'm on Instagram, it's just things that really grind my gears. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because what else am I gonna do? Keep it to myself? No. So that being said, I keep doing this voice because I just started watching Schitt's Creek and I love the way Alexis talks. So she has that super condescending voice, even though she thinks she's being helpful.
Oh my gosh, David, it's gonna be so fun
Don't
for
touch
you
me.
tonight.
Don't. That's
doing
harassment.
that with Mom. That's so nice.
So now I do it too, and it's really annoying, but I love it. So yeah. Anyways, I just wrote down a list of things. It's just a couple things that the list isn't actually that long, but these are things that more pertain to the natural hair community. So the first thing that, really gets my nerves, that makes me just like, oh, when I see this, I'm like, oh, y'all aggravate me, is people who say their hair is curly. And what I mean by that is I will see these videos of millions and millions of views on YouTube, and no, I'm not being salty, but they'll be like, oh, how to style curly hair. And I'll go look. And you'd be like, girl, if you don't get out of here with that deep wave. And oftentimes the people who have all these views on the videos, they don't necessarily look like me. And what I mean by that is they're not black. I feel like some people are like, I ain't even black. I get that comment so much. And you know what? Not so much. It's on like particular videos. Like if I bring up race, people are like, are you even black? And I'm like, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, there's no issue with that whatsoever, right? I think that if you have a video that is informational or just entertains people for whatever reason that is, like, and you put, work or effort into a video, or you might not even put that much effort into it. If you getting views and it's working for you, do you boo-boo. So those people don't bother me. Like, I don't have an issue with those people who benefit from that because they're playing to their demographic. The issue that I have is when, like, I seldom see that with women who have tighter curl patterns, or it's just, I don't see it. And I'm like, what? Is it less interesting? Like, I wonder what it is. Is it just that there's less people on earth with the tighter curl patterns? I mean, I guess that could be the case, but I feel like that's not the case. I feel like it has more to do with whatever algorithm YouTube is currently using to push and promote certain content for whatever reason. And it just really grinds my gears. I wonder, like, am I the only one who notices that? You're like, why? And then sometimes the video will just like, you think they're about to do this whole full detailed routine. And I feel like I could totally be talking about myself too in this. I realize that I could be talking about myself, but you'll feel like they're about to do a full in-depth curly hair routine. And it's like, girl, you just use mousse.
But today we're going to be testing out this mousse, which, I mean, you guys can...
Like, that was all you had to do. Do you know what I have to do? You know what I have to go through? But I know everybody's struggle is different. So what I might think is easy, somebody else might think is cumbersome. Someone else might think is difficult or a time waster, and vice versa. But I'm just on my soapbox today, so that's what I wanted to mention. So I mentioned it. But let me know if y'all see that too. You're like, why this video didn't do anything? Like, and then some of the stuff on there, this is what gets me. It's like you didn't know that already. Like, you're actually telling people, but you know what? I get it. It's people learn stuff at different times. Am I making sense? Or am I just sounding like a hater right now? Comment down below and let me know. But it'll be like this simplest thing, like, don't brush your hair when it's dry. And you'll have, like, your curls will be more defined. And you're like, well, duh, why would I brush my hair while it's dry? Like, the curls, I'm just gonna separate. Like, duh. Like, but to each its own. I'm gonna move along because I could be on there forever. Next is people who tell you what your hair type is. I could be like, yeah, I think I have like 3C hair, and then it's like the crown of my head, I kind of have like a 4A, and then people will be like, no girl, you're 3B. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm like 3C. And then I have a couple, and they're like, no, you're 3B. And I'm like, but I'm not 3B. Like, who would ever think my hair is 3B? And then they try and tell you anyway. So you just or sit there, you know, you're just sitting there like accepting that they're wrong. And why does it matter? Like, I'm okay. Well, just look at my hair and see how it applies to you then, since you know more about me than I know. Like, you know, people think they know you. They think that they know you. And then some people, I've seen this before, they think that their hair is a certain curl pattern. Like, they might think it's tighter, and really it's like, no, your hair, just moisturize it, baby. Just moisturize your hair and you'll get to see your true curl pattern. But that's another reason why I don't like to go by the curl typing chart too much, because sometimes, like, I feel like it's a good basis, like a nice baseline to kind of see where you can start, how you can navigate through all the products that have come out in the last 10 years for natural hair and see, you know, what products might work best for you. But also, if you get too caught up into it, I feel like you miss the point of it all, right? Because it's not all inclusive. It's just kind of like a benchmarker of where you could be, like where your hair is. You know what I'm saying? And also, your hair doesn't necessarily have to stay the same curl type. My hair used to be way looser when it was more damaged. I had like, my hair was wavy at one point, and I was just convinced like my hair would just never curl up again until I started taking care of it. And I was like, she got ringlets, okay? She has ringlets. She has the ringlets. So, you know, it depends on what point in your journey that you're at. I just want to say, love your curls, okay? No matter where you fall on the spectrum, love your curls. And don't let people try and tell you who you are, okay? Know thyself. I'm just saying. Anyways, next is people who are like so gung-ho on, here's the thing. I realize that not everybody thinks that natural hair suits them best. And I realize that that is a rich statement, because it's like, how can the hair that grows out of your head not suit you best? But some people want their hair completely straight. Some people want it platinum blonde. And I think that that is completely okay. So what bothers me is people who will try and shame people for, I see it with dyeing your hair. Like, I'll see it when people be like, well, why do Black women want to dye their hair blonde when it's Black people can't actually have blonde hair. That's just A. And B, who, like, what's wrong with the Black women wanting to have blonde hair? That's not a problem. Let them live their best life. But also, when people shame people for getting relaxers, yes, I realize that it's unhealthy. Yes, I realize that it could lead to a lot of uterine fibroid issues. I've seen people say that relaxers correlate to that. Somehow, I don't know, you know, the background on all of that, but I've definitely seen the blurb, so I'm aware of that. However, you have to let people live and lead their life in light, okay? Just let them, if they want to refer to the creamy crack, let them. If they ain't never been off the creamy crack, let them be great with the creamy crack. Just let them do that. It's okay. And yes, it is possible for a girl to have relaxed hair and hair that is tailbone length. I promise you, it is very possible. I feel like we just need to worry about ourselves. And I mean that in all aspects of it, especially now, because this is a time where the world is on fire, literally and figuratively. And you can only control like the small world that you live in at the moment while influencing the outside world, but you cannot force people to bend to your will. So I just hate when I see that happening. But I've mentioned this before in another video. It was not that long ago, but I always try and be very careful when I say, oh, I see this with Black women, because I don't like that narrative that Black women always pit themselves against one another, because I don't think that's the case. I do think that society pits Black women against themselves, or against one another, I should say. But I feel like when we kind of fall into that narrative, like it kind of reminds me of when people are like, what about Black on Black crime? Like, that's not really a thing. If that's a thing, then so is white on white crime. And so is I don't know, Californian on Californian crime, like you tend to kill people who you're in proximity with. That's just kind of how, you know, crime or murder works. Like just, I don't know, this is just me. And then another thing that kills me, just FYI, in case you guys don't know this, I actually have my degree in sociology. So I'm not saying this as like a quick blurb that I read on the internet. Like I actually went to school and paid a lot of money to study this. All right. So I know what I'm talking about. So when I tell people this and they're like, no, but black on black crime it's just terrible in America. And I'm like, Dash is right outside the door. And I'm like, so is what, like the percentage of which it occurs at, like white on white crime versus black on black crime, like the window is so small. Like you just kill who you're near. Okay. I guess that's the positive you can take away from it. So in case anyone's, you know, out here saying like, oh, well, Black Lives Matter. Why do black people kill black people? Just tell them to read a book. Okay. You're not Mrs. Merriam-Webster, nor Encyclopedia Britannica, nor Google. Okay. We're in the age of information. Tell them to do a quick search and read a quick book. I'm just saying, but if you're patient, inform them. You can do that too. How did we get here? How did we get here? But did we ever leave? Are we ever not here? No, I don't think we are. What are we talking about? What aren't we talking about? But yeah, that irritates me. And also on the flip side of that is natural hair shamers, as far as people who, like, I feel like there's an acceptable type of natural hair and there are acceptable natural hair styles that people will associate with as being cute or that can be professional. And I feel like it stops at about type 4-ish. And when I say that, I mean, like if you see someone with 3B hair wearing their hair curly, it's so cute. But then if you see someone with 4C wearing their hair out and their hair curly, it's one of those things that if you typed in like professional black or unprofessional black hairstyles, like I feel like the girl with the 4C fro would come up versus the girl with the 3B fro. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and that's just, I don't know what the analytics of Google are behind that and why, but I feel like it's easy to kind of do that in day-to-day life because of what we see on TV. But I do feel like, honestly, I've noticed within the past 6 months, I feel like that's changed quite a bit. I've seen more people with more textured hair, more Black women with type 4 hair who are wearing their hair in the natural state, and people are realizing the beauty and what it is. And I'll be the first one to admit it takes a while to love yourself for who you are. I used to literally hate my hair. I used to straighten it all the time. Like I didn't want any curl in it at all. I used to get relaxers. So I realized that it takes a long time to love yourself. And sometimes it takes even longer for people to love you. So, it's one of those things that I see. And while I do, I do recognize that I see a change and that things are becoming more representative for women with type 4 hair. It's like, gosh, it's been such a long time coming. I feel like it'll never be enough, if that makes sense, because we've been trained and it's been ingrained in us to dislike ourselves for so long. I feel like we can never have too much representation. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just a little thought. These are topics that come up in my head from time to time. Comment down below things that you notice. Doesn't have to pertain to the natural hair community or the Black community, but obviously that I'm a part of both of those communities. So they, I tend to notice those more so, but I'm curious things that you guys see, as even if it's in social media, everyday life, but just like these little nuances that pop up that you see that are problematic, that either is changing or that we could change, or, just get whatever you want off your chest. Unless it's boring, then I don't care. I'm kidding. Yeah, so anyways, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to film more content like this. I have a review coming up for you guys that I'm super excited about. But other than that, yeah, comment below. Let's chat in the comments. And I think that is it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.